All right, so you came in with your wife because she had a pretrial
Yes,
today
sir. And I
and
just,
your was set for Thursday.
yeah,
So
I'm trying to miss as least amount of work
all
as
right,
possible.
I certainly understand that. I can't quite sort this out, Mr. McClish. Anyway, you're Stephen Earl McClish.
Yes,
You got arrested for operating while intoxicated on May 12th. And this is file 24797 OD. It's an ordinance case. You're also charged in file 24777 with operating while intoxicated on the same day, May 12th. Did you get arrested twice in the same day?
no, Your Honor.
See what I can figure out here. You have a pretrial with Judge Pattison or this morning on the 777 case. You had an old one more than 10 years ago that I remembered, but I gotta figure this out. I think you got the same case in two different file numbers. That's what I think. One under state statute, one under ordinance. All right, 24777. Let's look at that one. That is a formal complaint filed by the county prosecutor's office. Said you were driving a vehicle on May 12th on Michigan Avenue with having a blood alcohol over 0.17 and having open intoxicants. And that is set for a pretrial today. The other case, 24797. Good morning, Ms. Ives.
Good morning, sir.
Who do you need?
Well, I need to see Mr. Schwartz, who's in lockup, and they say he's gonna be before you. He's also got
Yeah, he's got a bunch of pretrials.
he's got a pack with, can I see Mr. Schwartz? Okay, thank you.
Judge,
Yes,
when you get to an arraignment for Mr. Parr,
yes,
I would like to be here.
okay. Yeah, have a seat. We'll do him next.
Okay,
You also got a ticket for OUIL refusing a breath test under Three Rivers City ordinance. I think what happened, Mr. Reed, is when they discovered he had a high blood alcohol level, got recharged. Looks like the same incident.
Correct.
Um,
I believe that's accurate.
all right, well, you can't get charged twice for the same offense, once under city ordinance, once under state statute, but this is a high blood alcohol level case. You have a previous conviction. My suggestion is that we appoint an attorney for you on each of these cases to help you through the process. Is that agreeable with you?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna show not guilty plea on both cases.
Is the ordinance case just a citation? There's no formal complaint? correct?
No,
Just a ticket?
just a ticket. But I don't want to nolly it now until we figure out, I'm
Right.
assuming one of these will be dismissed. In fact, it'll have to be dismissed. You can't get charged twice. But the city has authority only of offenses up to 93 days. If it's punishable by more than 93 days, it has to be charged under state law. So when your blood alcohol level came back at over 0.17, the county prosecutor, Mr. Marvin's office, charged it as high blood alcohol level. Let's see if I can tell anything about this. Good morning, just have a seat.
these are for him.
Oh, those are for him? Okay,
His sister.
okay. Well, your PBT at the jail was 270, which is quite high. All right, I'll show a not guilty plea on both cases. Are you missing work right now?
Yes.
Where do you work?
I'm a union carpenter. I'm up at Zoetis in Portage.
All right, that sounds like a good job. You're gonna have to miss again. I'm gonna set an attorney pretrial for July 12th at 8:30. Have to sort this out. I don't know if you're eligible for sobriety court, but obviously you can't be in two charges for the same offense. So I'm appointing an attorney, set an attorney pretrial for July 12th at 8:30. You had a pretrial this morning, and so that's not needed.
Which is with Judge Patterson,
Mhm.
so I don't need to go.
You don't
to
need to
that?
go over
Okay.
there. All right, you go out to the counter. I just lost my court officer. He's in the back with a attorney.
Okay.
But go out to the counter and they'll give you the court-appointed paperwork. I want you to call that lawyer, make an appointment to discuss it with him. And do you have a valid driver's license?
They believe they took it. I have
Well,
the-
you did at that
I have
time.
it, yes.
You have the little paper license?
Yeah, I have the paper.
All right, well, you're still valid as far as I can tell. Go out to the counter and then they'll give you the court-appointed paperwork.
Okay, thank you, Your
All right,
Honor.
thank you. All right, Mr. Parr, I gotta get this up here. I was aware of this whole thing. There was a warrant out for Shelby for about 2 years and nobody ever bothered to serve it.
Yeah,
And then I got a pile of all the unserved domestic violence cases. Most of them have been since been served, but her warrant was out for a year probably. And
Yeah.
then she was recently stopped for a traffic ticket or something.
it was a dispute over a rental deal, but yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look at yours. I gotta find it because you weren't scheduled for today. And as a source of my great frustration, that particularly in domestic violence cases, that they will get a warrant and then never serve it. And that isn't good for anybody.
No, because then you don't know you have anything. But I don't believe mine was considered domestic violence.
No, yours is assault and battery and disturbing the peace. So let's take a look at yours. Shelby, what did you do on your case? Did you get a lawyer to help you with it?
I just talked to her.
Okay, you were just here on a pretrial?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I'm dismissing hers.
okay. I'm not surprised. All right, so you came in with your wife because she had a pretrial today.
Yes, sir. And I
And
just,
your was set for Thursday.
yeah,
So
I try to miss as least amount of work.
all
as
right, I
possible.
certainly understand that. All right, the complaint is that this happened on August 3rd of 2023. So it wasn't quite a year ago, but a number of months ago. That alleged that you assaulted Ronald Krapinski. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Ronald Krapinski is your wife's ex-husband, and there's been a lot of discord in that relationship.
Yes, sir.
Second count alleges disturbing the peace, which is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Melissa Halleck from the prosecuting attorney's office is here, and she has had a pretrial with the co-defendant, or I'm not sure if she's classified as co-defendant, but with your wife. Melissa, what's the status here?
Well, I'm dismissing Miss Shelby Parr's case. As far as Chester, I would like to watch the video evidence, but I would be inclined, most likely in this case, I'm gonna offer disturbing the peace from the short video I did watch. This was a domestic incident, and it sounds like the victim, Ronald Krapinski, was withholding the child. I'm not saying that makes okay for any aggressive behavior, but it appears to me that there are interviews that I would like to watch the actual, there's an alleged witness, but as far as what Mr. Parr was involved in. So, but I think a PR bond would be appropriate in this case. And then again, I just need to review further evidence.
Where are you working, Mr. Parr?
AutoZone in Three Rivers,
I've been there sometimes. I don't remember. How long have you been there?
about 3 years. I do driving for all the local shops.
Well, okay. Domestic assault and battery is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Disturbing the peace is a old-fashioned simple misdemeanor, meaning it's punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Disturbing the peace, and I say this a lot, doesn't matter who was right or wrong or who started it. Was there a quarrel, argument, or disturbance in a public place? And it sounds like Ms. Halleck is willing to offer that case. If you want to resolve it today, you completed disturbing the peace and I'll order a $200 fine. If you wish to have her review it further, I can set it for a further pretrial out a ways.
All right, would my bond cover the $200?
Yes, you have a $300 bond.
So I get 100 back?
You get
Yeah,
$100.
we can
back.
do that then, Your Honor.
All right. Other than what I just told you, did anybody promise you anything to get you to plead to
No, Your
this
Honor.
or threaten you?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you do plead to this charge, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or a jury? There will be no trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You would have the right to take the witness stand and testify on your own behalf, but you don't have to because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you. And you have the right to be presumed innocent unless they could prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So let's talk about this. Did you and your wife's ex-husband get into a quarrel and a shoving match regarding custody and visitation of your stepdaughter?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that was on Spring Street?
I believe so, yes. Right off Constantine Street.
Yep. All right, that brings a closure to this. Mrs. Parr, how did you get arrested on your case?
We both got arrested the same day. It was on Monday, the day after Mother's Day. We went to our old house to get the rest of it along to the process of moving from our rental to another. The landlord at that time changed locks on our rental, even though we have till June 28th to be out. So we called the cops to help us get access to the house.
Found these old warrants. All right. All right, there's a $75 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, and a $50 state minimum fee. $200, you have $300 bond. Let me make sure you don't owe me any money like Mr. Chris does. All right, I'm gonna have the court officer take you out to the counter. You'll get $100 of your money back. in
I
this
can
case.
take it. I have to
All right.
go. Clippers anyway.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
How's it been since last August? Has it been event
We
free?
haven't seen him or heard from him until like 2 weeks ago. Like
His parenting time's now
yeah,
suspended.
he likes to take part in extracurriculars.
Yes, I'm well aware of the
So
situation.
we try to
Somebody, in fact, one of my kids asked me about how he was doing.
not so hot. Your Honor.
Not so hot. I saw him riding like a kid's bike in town. Shelby, I've talked with this before. And I'm sorry to even see all this, but you guys are trying to make your way in the world.
Yes,
And
sir.
this brings closure to this.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to try this again. The defendant came rolling in about 12 minutes late, but we've managed to reconnect with our interpreter.
He was saying that we told him 11 o'clock. I can't say whether we did or did not tell him when we were doing the screening process, but
Okay, and that's possible.
it is possible. There you go.
All right, good morning once again, Vivian.
Good morning.
The defendant arrived. He may have been given at 11 o'clock time by the probation department. Alberto Juarez Patlan is here. Is that you,
Okay.
sir?
¿Usted es Alberto Juárez Patlan? Yes.
This is Ms. Montero. She was here with us back in April when we took this plea.
Aquí está la señora Montero. Ella nos acompañaba cuando recibimos su contestación de culpable en
And
abril.
she's going to interpret for us again today.
Ella va a interpretar para nosotros nuevamente el día de hoy.
All
That's
right,
fine.
Ms. Montero, would you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm to the best of your ability you will interpret these matters from Spanish into English and English into Spanish.
I do.
We were here in April and the defendant entered a plea on 2 charges.
Estuvimos aquí en el mes de abril y el acusado contestó culpable en 2 cargos.
Operating without having a valid license in his possession
Conducir sin tener una licencia vigente a su poder
and operating a motor vehicle while impaired by alcohol.
conducir un vehículo con las facultades disminuidas por alcohol.
He waived his right to have an attorney to represent him at that time.
Usted renunció su derecho a que un abogado lo representara en ese momento.
Prosecutor agreed not to charge the matter as operating while intoxicated.
El fiscal estuvo de acuerdo a reducir la gravedad del cargo y para que no enfrentara el cargo de conducir en estado de ebriedad.
Daniel Frazine from the probation department
Daniel Frenzine del Departamento de Libertad Condicional
was assigned to do the screening report,
fue asignado para realizar la entrevista inicial
and he has prepared a report for us today.
y ha preparado un informe para nosotros aquí el día de hoy.
Also present is Melissa Halleck from the prosecuting attorney's office
También está presente la licenciada Melissa Halleck de la Fiscalía
and our chief public defender, Mr. Keith Stickley,
y el abogado de oficio principal, licenciado Keith Stickley,
is also here as a courtesy.
también está aquí de cortesía.
Mr. Juarez Patlan, you waived your right to have an attorney when you entered this plea.
Señor Juárez Patlán, usted renunció su derecho a tener un abogado cuando usted contestó culpable.
I told you that if you could not afford an attorney, I could appoint one for you.
Yo le dije, si usted no puede darse el lujo de contratar un abogado particular, yo le puedo asignar uno.
Or you could proceed without a lawyer.
O que usted podía proceder sin un abogado.
And that is what you chose to do.
Y eso es lo que decidió hacer.
Do you want me to continue here today and do the sentence
¿Desea que yo proceda aquí el día de hoy para imponer la condena?
without a lawyer?
¿Sin abogado? Yes.
Well, Mr. Stickley will be here to make sure that we are complying with the rules.
Licenciado Stickley va a estar aquí para asegurar que estamos cumpliendo con las reglas. Okay.
Mr. Frazine has prepared the report,
El señor Freystein ha preparado el informe
and I got to also review the police report.
y yo tuve la oportunidad de también revisar el informe de policía.
This happened on April 5th.
Esto tomó lugar el 5 de abril. Ajá.
In Constantine Road and Steers Road.
Sobre la Constantine Road con la Steers Road.
Mankey Road and Frank Jones Road.
Yeah, there's 2 tickets in the same file.
Hay 2 multas en el mismo expediente.
Here's the correct ticket.
Aquí está la multa indicada.
Mankey Road and Frank Jones Road.
Perdón, estaba sobre la Mankey Road con la Frank Jones Road.
Near where the defendant works.
Cerca de donde trabaja el acusado.
He had no valid license at that time.
Que estaba conduciendo y no traía una licencia vigente en ese momento.
And he was driving very badly.
Y no estaba conduciendo de manera imprudente. Ajá.
And for reasons I don't completely understand.
Por
it was
razones
written
más allá
as-
de mi conocimiento,
It was written as impaired driving.
lo pusieron como conducir con las facultades disminuidas.
As far as we could find,
De lo que podemos hallar,
we couldn't find any previous record.
no encontramos antecedentes penales.
Mr. Frazine, you had recommended a probation. I'm
Señor-
frankly, go ahead.
Señor Freystein, usted había recomendado un plazo de libertad condicional. Ajá.
but I'm not inclined to put someone on probation who's been deported twice.
Normalmente no coloco una persona quien ha sido deportado 2 veces en un plazo de libertad condicional. Oh,
It's unlikely, as you said in your report, that he's going to be deported.
como dice en su informe, es improbable que será deportado nuevamente,
Which is why you recommended a
That
probation.
is correct. Yeah.
lo cual usted recomendaba un plazo de libertad condicional. ¿Es correcto, su señoría?
And he did agree to watching the Spanish VIP right after sentencing today.
All right.
Y él estuvo de acuerdo de mirar en español el video de VIP enseguida después de la imposición de la condena hoy.
You already did 2 days jail, and he's recommending 2 days jail.
Usted ya pasó encerrado 2 días de cárcel y él está recomendando 2 días de cárcel. Okay.
Ms. Halleck, do you have any input on this case at all?
I reviewed
Licenciada
the report.
Halleck, licenciada Halleck, ¿quiere decir algo sobre el caso? Yo he repasado el informe,
I reviewed Mr. Frazine's report,
revisé el informe del señor Frazen
and I agree with the recommendations that are made.
y estoy de acuerdo con las recomendaciones que se ha hecho.
Senor Juarez Patlan, is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Señor Juárez Patlan, ¿hay algo que desea decirme?
No,
No.
Are you still working at the dairy farm?
¿Usted sigue trabajando en el rancho de vacas?
sí,
Yes.
Now, you had a Mexican driver's license at one time.
¿Usted tenía una licencia de conducir de México en algún momento?
sí,
Yes.
But that does not presently give you permission to drive a car here in Michigan. Do you understand?
Actualmente eso no le da autorización de poder manejar aquí en Michigan. ¿Entiende usted eso?
sí,
Yes.
I'm going to order a $300 fine,
Multa 300.
$75 crime victims' rights fee,
$75 para víctimas de delitos.
a screening fee of $100,
$100 para la entrevista inicial.
$120 reimbursement to Three Rivers or to the county sheriff's department,
$125 de reparación para el departamento de sheriff del condado.
and a $32 victim impact fee.
Y $32 para el costo de la película que va a ver.
300 plus 125
Está sumando todo,
plus 100 for screening
más los $100 para la entrevista inicial,
plus $120 police reimbursement,
más $125 reparación a la policía,
300 plus 125 plus 100 plus 120 plus 32 is $677.
son $677.
ajá, está bien.
I'm ordering
Okay,
the victim impact panel in Spanish.
Voy a ordenar que participa en lo que se llama el Victim Impact Panel en español.
Can you pay that fine today or do you need time?
¿Puede pagar ese monto hoy o necesita tiempo para pagarlo?
No, hoy,
Today.
All right. On the no ops in possession,
En cuanto al otro cargo que usted no tenía una licencia vigente a su poder,
ajá,
I'm going to order 2 days jail credit, 2 days.
voy a ordenar 2 días de cárcel, darle crédito por los 2 días que ya pasó encerrado.
At the same time as the impaired.
Al mismo tiempo, por el otro cargo.
You're not going to go back to jail.
Usted no va a ir de regreso a la cárcel.
ajá,
And I'm not going to put you on probation,
Y no le voy a colocar en un plazo de libertad condicional.
although Mr. Frazine's reasoning makes good sense.
Aunque tiene razón el señor Frazen y tiene sentido,
I chose not to do that.
decidí no hacerlo.
You need to go out to the counter and pay the fine.
Tiene que pasar a la ventanilla y pagar la multa.
ajá,
Then you
está
can
bien.
go down with Mr. Frazine and watch the victim impact panel.
Y luego puede acompañar al señor Frazen a mirar este video.
Ajá, está bien.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, no more driving, correct?
Ya no puede conducir, ¿verdad?
Ok, está bien.
Okay, that's fine.
Now, you have family in Mexico, correct?
Usted tiene familia en México, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Yes.
And you're sending money there.
Y usted está enviando dinero allá.
sí.
Yes.
No, I'm not gonna get into anything beyond that.
No voy a ir más profundo que eso.
Vivian, thank you for your help. Sorry about the mix-up.
You're welcome, no worries. Thank you. Have a good day, Your Honor.
And on us, thank you. Okay, we're speaking with Jason Scott Yant, two files, 23613 and 614, motor vehicle cases under state statute. Are you Jason Scott Yant?
Yes.
You've been meeting with Assistant Prosecutor Melissa Halleck, and she wanted to do a little more work on your case, and she's gonna continue it. But I wanted to speak to you. You have $1,545 of unpaid previous traffic tickets, a nuisance ordinance, inoperable vehicle, use of a controlled substance from 2022, defective equipment, misdemeanor registration and plate violation, and a booking fee, which I'm not too concerned about. Then I also thought we had a warrant for your arrest, but it's not for Jason Yant, it's for Jeffrey Yant. Is that your brother?
Yes, my brother, yes.
Tell him to get in here and deal with it.
I think he's in Cass.
Cass County Jail?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll check on that. All right, anyway, I don't know if we have payment plans or what the deal is, but I'd like you to stop out to the counter before you go and check into a payment plan on all of these
Going through a
unpaid
divorce,
fines.
so
What's that?
I'm going through a divorce, so that's why it's been a lot.
All right, well, we didn't forget about them. The booking fees I'm not so concerned about, but with these others, we need to get them addressed or you won't be able to get your license cleared up. All right, you're good to go. We'll reset those and she gave you the date, but I'd like you to stop out at the counter. All right, next we've got Mr. Storm Lee Swartz. Good morning, Mr. Swartz.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Good. You've also got a bunch of unpaid stuff, but some of it's very old and some of it are booking fees. We got two cases here, trespass under state statute 24730 SM, May 14th of 2024. And 24778, another, larceny, over 200 but less than 1,000.
Yes, sir.
You've also got some other stuff in other courts, but according to Ms. Halleck, you're going to plead to these two charges and have them resolved. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me get into these. I had gotten into Mr. Yant's file. Let's do the trespass one first.
Are you in Jason Yant's file?
Yes. No, I'm in Joseph Chris' file.
Okay.
In file 24730, a formal complaint was filed by the county prosecutor's office. No, it was a ticket.
Yeah.
Written by Officer Seth Chittister alleging that you trespassed at 303 Middle Street on April 27th at 7:24 in the evening. Trespass is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 30 days in jail and a fine of up to $250, I believe, the way it's written. Did anybody threaten you to get you to plead to that charge?
No, no, not at all. I'm just trying to get it resolved today. Even though my grandmother, even if you got a hold of my grandmother today, she'd even state that I wasn't trespassing. I'm allowed on the property.
Well, whose property is it?
It's Sheila Mays. It's my
Yeah,
grandmother.
it's condemned, isn't it?
Yeah, we're supposed to be working on it, and as soon as I got up there, somebody called the cops on me and said that I was trespassing.
All right, well,
I didn't
So-
ask him further details because he had said,
I'm just gonna plead guilty to it today.
all right, well, the cops told you to stay away from there before, didn't they?
No,
Well, I mean, to say it needs major overhaul.
yeah, that's currently what we're doing right now.
Do you have building permits?
I believe they have all the permits, yes. But I was just up there, I was gonna clean up the yard because of the yard was a mess.
Well, this once upon a time was a fine house.
Yes, it was.
All right, well, it's 7 o'clock at night on April 27th, so it's almost dark. All right, you've been in jail for 15 days.
Yes, sir.
Here's Mr. Stickley, the public defender. I just want to make sure nobody threatened you to get you to plead to this charge or promised you anything.
No, sir, no, nothing like that at all.
And do you understand if you do plead to both of these charges, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury?
Yes, sir.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. The public defender has just joined us. He may be more important in the next case than this one. If you had a trial, you'd have the right to take the witness stand and testify on your own behalf. But you don't have to because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you.
Yes, sir, I understand that.
You'd have the right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court, so they could be questioned under oath. And you have the right to be presumed innocent if and until the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, sir, I understand that also.
All right, you already told me what happened. I'm gonna give you 15 days jail credit, 15 days. 0 fine. I'm gonna do the minimum crime victims' rights fee and state minimum fee. 125 or 2 days concurrent with other cases. Who is Dave Abrams to you? Your uncle?
Yeah, why?
Well, he was living in that house when he up and died.
Yeah, I was currently living at my mother's at the time when that happened. But I wasn't living there at the time.
He was missing and he kept jumping in the river. It's just a sad situation.
Yes, it is.
He was a Navy veteran. When we were in school, he used to turn his hearing aid up and make a squealing sound to drive the teacher crazy. And she didn't know where it was coming from. And he'd go like this and you'd hear yeah. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, he liked to pull pranks, a lot of pranks. He liked to be funny. If he could, he'd try to put a smile or a laugh on your face whenever he had the chance.
Well, let's talk about this other one. This is a larceny over 200, but less than 1,000. That is 24778. Let me get in that one. This is a little more substantial than the other one. All right, this is alleged that you stole a coat and wallet that belonged to Jared Yoder or Jane Price. And it had more than $200, but less than $1,000 in it. That's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $2,000. Are you going to plead to this charge?
It's not a coat and a wallet.
no, I need to correct that, Your Honor. I emailed,
It was an e-bike?
yes, it's an e-bike. I don't know. I missed reviewing count one. The language that they put in is not correct. My notes indicate that this was an e-bike and it was returned eventually, so there's no restitution,
All right,
but
well, let me go back to the complaint.
so I already emailed the staff to
All
make
right.
the amended
It
complaint.
might have had come from a previous complaint or something and the language was just in there.
Yeah, I recognize the names are from a different complaint, actually, so.
And he would stipulate to it being an e-bike.
All right, thank you. Vincent Salinas was in Lincoln Street working on something. And they said you were riding this e-bike around. And they found the stolen e-bike. And that was you, was he at a work site and you saw his e-bike there and you took it?
Kind of something like that, yeah.
Did you have permission to take it?
No,
It's been returned?
yes, sir.
These will be the new thing,
What, the e-bikes?
to be stolen. Several years ago, I might have told this story before. One of the clerks upstairs, Dina, had her bike stolen. And I think, I don't know where it was stolen from. Might have been stolen here at the courthouse, but anyway, she had her bicycle stolen. And Dick Meddy was working here as a bailiff and he did a bunch of other things. He found the bike in Three Rivers and he brought it to court, brought it back to her, but it was the wrong bike. He stole somebody else's bike. So we told him we were gonna get a warrant for him. I don't know whatever happened to I don't think Dina ever got her bike and I mean, he found it was like abandoned or something, but I don't know whatever happened to it, but we got a hard time making fun of him about it. But you got a bunch of things that are holding on to you and there is no restitution. I'm gonna do the same thing, 15 days jail credit, 15 days.
Upstairs. For the ammunition charge. Did that shit and our.
And the minimum allowable fine. You got other things holding on to you. This is 2 less things you have to worry about. Everybody should keep track of their e-bikes because they're easy to steal and their value is higher than a regular bicycle. But you can't take them to Mackinac Island. All right, you're good to go, Mr. Schwartz.
Thank
You
you,
got your
sir.
felony cases upstairs. You can deal with those. You also have a bunch of unpaid fines and costs. But you got other things going on. So these 2 cases are completed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're charged with retail fraud in the 3rd degree under Three Rivers ordinance. It's alleged that on or about January 9th, that you were at some store charged by Mr. George. I can't tell where it was. You were at a store in the city of Three Rivers. And they allege you did alter, transfer, remove, replace, conceal, or otherwise misrepresent the price at which the property is for sale. Which would make me believe this is Walmart, but see what the affidavit says. Ashley Hit Boutique, Michigan Avenue. Okay, it's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. You just had one of these under Sturgis ordinance that they did as a civil infraction. I think this one actually occurred before the Sturgis one. And you completed the Sturgis one by paying the fine and cost. Anyway, the allegation is that you took a sweatshirt and walked out with it. Not exactly the crime of the century, but that's the allegation. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
All right, would you like me to appoint a lawyer for you?
Sure.
You've got some old of these too. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. So plea of not guilty, appoint an attorney. Set attorney pretrial for July 12th. You still live on Airline Road?
I do, sir.
All right. We'll get a lawyer for you
Okay.
and see where this goes. I don't know that they have video of this. Says she knows you personally as your frequent customer. Okay. Well, I'll have the court officer take you out. We'll get an attorney for you and go from there.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you on July 12th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you want this just goes out? Yeah.
All right, yes. Stephen McClish. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.